All right, guys, let's see if we can change some minds tonight. So first off, on our news section, we're talking about Mike Lindell, the pillow guy, conspiracy theorist, is housing a Colorado clerk who reportedly leaked election data to Q via 8chan. So she's under investigation by the FBI for allegedly leaking voting machine passwords to a well-known conspiracy theorist who was reportedly hiding out in a safe house owned by MyPillow guy CEO Mike Lindell. The Mesa County clerk Tina Peters is the subject of a FBI probe into whether or not she allowed unauthorized access to the county's voting equipment. Colorado Secretary of State Jena Griswold has called on her to comply with inspections of voting equipment and explain video footage showing her accessing the machines with an unauthorized person. That unauthorized person, believed to be the man named Gerald Wood, allegedly took video of the machine upgrades. The footage contains sensitive data that could be used to breach the county's election equipment. Prior to Mr. Wood allegedly entering, Miss Peters reportedly told her staff to turn off the room surveillance cameras. So, she's doing something she knows is illegal and still fucks it up. So, that's kind of funny.
Man.
But this is dangerous.
It is dangerous. And all at the behest of
the pillow.
Converting a fake theory. Yeah. Like, what level of delusion do you have to be to try and make up evidence?
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. They're just, and again, nothing they do right now could overturn the election. All it does is make Kamala or what's her name, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, president. So it's so silly. But this lady, Miss Peters, she's an outspoken Sorry about that. So Miss Peters is an outspoken Trump supporter and election conspiracy theorist in charge of elections. And she was invited to speak at the 3-day event. The Mesa County clerk responded to Ms. Griswold's statement during the show, accusing the Colorado Secretary of State of invading and having raided her office. She continued grandstanding, saying Mesa County was the last bastion of freedom and suggested that the state wanted to take over my office and control the way you vote. Oh, man. And it's also kind of crazy because during this event, computer files from Mesa County voting machines hardware was displayed on a giant screen over the main stage at this this crazy event that he had, this symposium, right? And then Ron Watkins, who's the owner of 8chan, who's also believed to be Q, and I've actually watched that thing. I think he is the Q guy. He's just a weirdo. He also appeared on the screen, and he was trying to provide analysis of the data, but he's also interrupted by his lawyer. The lawyer advised him to say that the files had been taken without authorization from Mrs. Peters' office, and that the data should be returned to the clerk, and that we should stop this data review. In other words, you're going to go to jail if you keep this shit up. But I think the cat's out the bag, man. They put it on a big-ass screen, you know. So this is just another crazy chapter in this whole thing. And to top it off, Mike Lindell's initially took this lady to Texas after his symposium, where she was meant to shelter in secret, but one of his disgruntled members of his security team apparently leaked her location, prompting the pillow boss to move her again. Her whereabouts are currently unknown. What madness is this? Yeah.
He makes it, when you read the article, he makes it sound like he's hiding her for fear of her life.
Right.
The reality is he's hiding her for fear of legal retribution.
Yeah, the FBI. And it's funny. We can find Osama bin Laden in the Middle East. We can't find the pillow guy's properties. I mean, come on, man. Oh, I think they know right where she is. But yeah, it's just pretty crazy how this guy is he's like the new Alex Jones, like you were saying. He's like the biggest conspiracy nut. But I think he actually believes it, which is even sad. More sad because Alex Jones admitted in court it was a joke. He's a character.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't believe that Alex Jones is a character, but this is a guy who doesn't believe that he's a character.
won't admit that he's a character.
Man, if this were method acting, man, he would be hired snap for whatever part he's trying for.
Yeah, he's all in. But this guy, this just goes to show you, if you have the resources, you can challenge the entire system. But even though it's totally illegitimate, he is wasting millions of dollars of resources trying to prove himself to be right. I'm the one that knows everything. I alone, he's much like Trump. I alone can prove this. I alone, so just another narcissist that makes shitty pillows, that is now the leader of a conspiracy theory cult member. And he's pretty much making the Jesus juice to kill the people off with. Oh yeah, Carnage says, check out David Pakman's interview with Mike Lindell. I definitely watched it.
I have not watched it yet.
It is a disaster. And kudos to David Pakman for just trying to act like this is a normal conversation the whole time, and it clearly wasn't. He just, just goes crazy. And Mike Lindell has now pulled all of his ads from Fox News because they're not real. And, they won't kowtow. So now he's saying they're fake news. It's just a big old shit show.
Anybody who won't host his lies is fake news. That's, the story that keeps on playing out.
Mm-hmm. This is right out of Trump's playbook. If I lose the election, I'll say it's fake news, and that's it. Mm-hmm.
We're going to be seeing echoes of this strategy for years to come.
Yeah.
And that's really sad for the state of affairs of the United States, just in general.
Yeah. But that's where we're at, But here's my question for everybody that knows anything about elections, more details. So we have one faction saying, like in Michigan right now, we have elected officials here in the state of Michigan where me and Mia live. They're passing legislation saying you can't hook up the voting machines to the internet. But these other people are saying, well, they don't get hooked up to the internet. But then in this article, it says they released login information, which has to be logged in through the internet. So I'm suspicious of the validity of the people saying that there's no possible way it hooks with the internet if there's a password to access them. So I'm a little skeptical about both sides of this, but I there's not a lot of electronics that doesn't have access to the internet remotely, wirelessly or something, but I don't know.
And it could be that it's records that they're giving access to, not the actual votes, or, there's multiple layers of security that they might be breaking through here. Yeah.
So I hope somebody else knows more about this than I do, because if nobody else knows more than I do, we're in trouble, which of course someone does. I'm just a guy that does stupid shit all the time, right? So I wish somebody in here that watches this would let us know more about this. Like, what is the access for? Like, is it to transfer information? And Braces for Impact says, I believe it's the machine's password, not an internet password. Right, but how would they access it remotely? It has to be through the internet to access the machine with its password. Because like with my work computer, my IT can access my computer remotely and actually work in my computer, but they have to have the password to get into my computer. It's kind of the same thing. So I'm suspicious. I'm curious. Like, we have legislators in Michigan passing legislation saying, just in case you guys didn't know, you can't hook up these things to the internet. And the Republican election officials are saying, but we don't. And they're like, yeah, but just in case, we want to make sure everybody knows that that's not possible. They're like, but it's not. Like, it's like this weird little circle jerk they got going of, don't do it, but I didn't. Kind of waste of time. Kind of like they debated for like 6 weeks about if we should change the state stone. Like, it's just a bunch of waste of time. But yeah, this concerns me and by passing this legislation in the state of Michigan, it's reinforcing the big steal. It's saying that it's possible. It's possible. When, you know what I mean? So I'm curious how that. I don't know enough about the elections state by state because they are ran by state legislators. So
a lot of people seem to misunderstand the difference between something being possible and something being probable too. Like, just because something can be done doesn't mean it is being done. Literally anything is possible if you force it hard enough.
Yeah.
But is it actually happening? That's where you need to be focused.
Oh, you know what? Braces for impact here. Ron has a good point. He goes, didn't the article say she was in a room with an unauthorized person, as in the same room as the machines? That is true, right? So that could be something in the future that could be a problem if you allow someone like him in there to videotape the upgrades and then have access to the machines physically. He could probably install something that's fucked up too, right? To open the door for problems in the future. But again, guys, every single state has its own rules and regulations. So I'm gonna start looking into Michigan elections as far as like what is the protocols, like can they be hooked up to the internet and stuff like that. I must reach out to some election officials here in Michigan. Maybe they probably won't pay attention to me, but I'm gonna try. That's all we can do, right? But yeah, in Michigan we got our own problem. But here we go. Colorado and Arizona are at it.
You'd be surprised, though. Election officials will probably talk to you. They don't have a lot else to do. They're not like the president.
Well, some of these people might not want to be on public record either.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Because they're already getting like school board members are getting death threats for allowing mask mandates or even to entertain the idea of a mask mandate. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think about this in the comment section, man. Do you know more about this in your state, in your county? You know, like what do you know that I don't, that we don't, that I just don't got time to sit around and diddle around and figure this stuff out for myself because I got too much other shit to do. But I'd love to hear more from you guys on this. But yeah, let us know in the comments, guys. And thanks for joining us. And while you're here, make sure you hit like, share it with your friends that like this type of content, and subscribe, of course, ring notification bells. And you'll see more upcoming videos like this. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. And like always, go read the book.